welcome back to the Star Wars Expanded Universe, now redubbed by Disney or current Lucasfilm, whichever way you slice it. Legends. Today I have for you Book 16 in the Yuuzahn Vong War, in the new Jedi Order series, Heretic 2, Refugee. It's going to be much shorter. I don't have as much to say about this one. Also, if you can hear anything background noise, I apologize. My brother likes to blare things. But he's also 10, so. But if you can't, good. Anyway. So, non-spoiler. This might actually be a really short one. I don't know yet. So, non-spoiler. Basically, we have Luke, Mara, Jason, Danny Kui, Sabatine, something like that, heading to the Chiss homeworld to get information to see if they can find this moving planet that Vergie, whatever, talked about. Meanwhile, we have Han, Leia, C-3PO, Jaina, Jag Fell, all at Bakora. Though it splits off, and till near the end of the book, Jaina Solo goes and... Well, no, actually, okay. So, you have this whole Bakora plot, and then at some point, Jaina goes off somewhere else on the planet for a bit, and the parents go somewhere else, and you kind of like two separate plots there. And then you have Jag Fell and his perspective, and the Sissy-Rook slaves are good guys, and they want to make peace, or something like that. Which I don't want to. I think that's about what I can do for non-spoiler for you, without getting into anything else. I think that's the bare minimum. Is that, and of course, Nominors, we still got stuff going on with him, scheming and all that, and that is about as far as I can go without getting into spoilers. Overall, fun read. Still, I feel like this entire Force Heretic trilogy might be like on the lower tier of my favorite bits of the Yuuzahn Vong War, because or this entire series, because I'm just it's good. It's not bad. None of these are like Allegiance and Choices of One, where I'm just like, oh my god, end already. But for those of you who don't know, who are new to the channel, I a while ago reviewed Allegiance and Choices of One by Timothy Zahn, and those are my first impressions of him, because I was doing it in chronological order. I had not read the Thrawn trilogy yet, so that was my first going with Timothy Zahn, and so far those have been, they're not horrible by any means, they're okay, but they are the worst expanded universe books that I've read so far. And until we get to, I hear the Dawn of the Jedi is really bad. We'll see if that beats Allegiance and Choices of One, but we haven't got there yet. But it's not boring like that, so. But it was fine. It was good, and I'm excited to see it finish finally. But then we only have 2 books left. Oh, right, and then we have Tahiri. I forgot to even mention her. There's stuff going on with Tahiri. And I'll talk more about that in spoilers, but yeah, overall, pretty good read. I'm excited to finish that off, and then move on to the last 2 books in the new Jedi Order series. So I hope that interests you. And if you have not read the book yet, then it's time for you to leave, because I'm going to get into spoilers. So without further ado, I already mentioned that Han and Leia are going to Bakora. Oh, this is something I forgot to mention in the previous review. So, in the epilogue, we see that Danny Quee and Jason are forming a romantic relationship, and I was not for it. She's sweet, she's fine. Especially in this book, I got to, they have a discussion near the end of this book. But he should be with Tino Ka. I've read an entire frickin' young Jedi Knight series hoping that they would get together, and now they're just introducing this random chick to date him, and I'm not for it. I'm sorry. I'm not. So, no, I ain't for it. Getting to see the Chiss home planet was really interesting. I don't know chronologically if you've seen it in the past. I don't know if in Timothy Zahn's Outbound Flight, if we get to see it at all. I don't know. I don't know anywhere else we might find this. But it was really interesting to, just get a little bit more of the insight into the Chiss culture and society. And it was just interesting, to say the least. I don't know what that means. So I'm going to skip that one. I honestly don't remember what that note is supposed to mean. It says weird stormtroopers. Now, I'm trying to recall why I would write that. But it's been a while since I read the beginning of the book, and I don't have photographic memory, and I don't remember why I mentioned that. Oh, wait. Okay. Weird stormtroopers. I get it now. I remember. So, I was just saying at the time when I wrote that note, because there's a beginning kind of part of this book, we have stormtroopers saving Luke Skywalker's life, helping in this kind of opening battle that we witness. It's not anything big or anything super duper important, but it's something that happens in the very beginning. And I just thought that was really bizarre. Because here you have, if you only watch the movies, stormtroopers are the bad guys. That's what you know about them. But then here we go, and unlike the new movies, if you like the new movies, that's fine. I don't. We're allowed to have preferences. But unlike the new movies, where you just have stormtroopers be bad again, instead we get to see progression. Like, okay, I guess you can count Finn because he defects, but I'm talking about a stormtrooper that does not defect, but still works with our heroes. And we get to see stormtrooper armor side by side with our heroes. It's just weird, and it's crazy in the development from where we started to where we are now. And yeah, that's why I brought up that note. So Nom Nor's politics and scheming. So I love how he decides to just start a religion. It was already kind of becoming something. He just decided to become a prophet, a false prophet, but a prophet nonetheless, to get people to help him. What I also love, what I find fascinating about Nom Nor, is that he's not like, I'm evil, so once I win, I'm not going to keep my end of the bargain. He says, no, if they help me get back on top, then I'm going to honor my promise, and I'm going to help them. Even if he doesn't believe in anything that they believe in, or necessarily like them. He said he would bring them to higher status, and he will. And I really love that about him. I was debating whether or not to talk about religion again, for the simple fact because of the way it is portrayed, with him tricking the people and the false hope and stuff, which is all great and fine, and that happens all the time. It just doesn't apply to Christianity. And it was kind of irking me, because I felt like that's where my brain went. But also I'm a Christian. But I thought, like, how many people would go reading that and think about, like, real life religion. And so, I don't know. I'm not gonna talk about it. If you do want to talk about stuff, I don't get offended. I don't mind discussing it. You can do that in the comments. But this is a Star Wars video, so I'm not gonna get too much in it. But I don't know, man. Like, for people who have actually studied into this, it's not as simple as, like, some guy just said, I'm going to do this, and they just followed him blindly. No, it's not what happened. But, yeah, I mean, I the best part of these books for me, these new books, this trilogy, has been Nominor. I think that's my favorite part of the book. Because we get snippets of Nominor here and there throughout every book. But something about this one, it's like we're really getting insight into just how well he is. I mean, we've been seeing him scheme, manipulate throughout the entire series, but it's something about, just being his thoughts and, talking about, like, how he'll honor his promises and stuff, and how he goes about making his plans and stuff. And, we have a lot of different Vong that are like the big bads of particular books, but between the Vong from the Michael Stackpole duology and Nominor, I think they are, the closest big bad to, like, Thrawn or Darth Vader or whatever. Like, they still can't hold a candle to those guys, but they're a lot of fun. So, yeah, like it a lot. Because we don't really have, like, a definite, like, there's just the Vong are bad, and so it's nice to have this guy and have it, reminds me of Palpatine a bit with the scheming and the plotting, and, Thrawn was never good with politics, he was good with strategy. So I definitely feel Nominor, and obviously Palpatine could completely own Thrawn when it comes to political scheming and whatnot. Whereas if it came to tactical skill, I do think Thrawn would defeat the Emperor and Nominor. Anyway, next note. Do you guys remember when we read the Corellian trilogy and the woman that Luke had a slight fling with? It's been years since he's seen her. He sees her again, and she got married, she had a kid, the husband died. And she sacrifices herself in that book. The kid's left alone. We don't really hear from the kid. Well, guess what? We get to see her older now. In that continuity. Love it. And she's like this freedom fighter and stuff. Wanting to stay independent from, of course, Yuuzahn Vong, but also the Galactic Alliance. They want to sustain themselves and all that stuff. But it was really good to... I enjoyed seeing her. I enjoyed seeing another plot thread be connected throughout the series, and I really appreciated that. Poor Tahiri. So this is much later in the book, but we've been seeing this since the last book, but Tahiri is just struggling. And I had suspected as much as to what it was. I was right. I mean, it's pretty obvious, but they didn't flat out tell you to this book. But the events that happened in the Great Keys, I think that was the author. Yeah. In the Edge of Victory duology, right before Star by Star, she was trying to be turned into a Yuuzahn Vong. So now that's coming back to get her, and I really feel for her, because she's still like 17, and she's just confused and angry and doesn't know what to do, and I just want to give her a hug. I feel so bad. She's like, why am I alive when when Anakin is dead? Why couldn't I have died with Anakin? Why couldn't I have died instead of him? And I feel really bad for Tahiri. So, oh yeah, political scheming everywhere. Nominor scheming. The Corans, they're scheming. They're scheming on the Chiss homeworld. They're scheming everywhere in this book. You got a faction on the Chiss homeworld that does not agree with Fel and everything, and so they're trying to take him out. You got the Bakorans. You got the specific people. The one guy, I forget his name, that was funding the freedom fighters or whatever. And the guy that turns out to be a freaking robot, which is crazy. But they're all plotting and scheming and doing stuff. The Sisaruk are plotting and scheming stuff. This whole book is just filled with people plotting and scheming stuff. And it's like, dude, chill out with the political machinations and the scheming, all right? But I just found it really funny. There's so much of it. And lastly, we have the bombs go off. And then, right after the fact, the Susurruk invade. I mean, there's other stuff that happens afterwards. I don't... and then, in the epilogue... Is it the epilogue or is it the final chapter? I don't remember. Jason figures out, where they should be looking for the planet. And looking for a moon instead of a planet this time and stuff. Because of a conversation that he has with Danny Kui, which it was really sweet, all the things she was saying. I still don't want her to be with him. I want him to be with Tino Ka, like he should be. But, we can't all get our way. But yeah, that's pretty much the end of the book, is that, but then, the slaves of the Susurruk are fighting back at the end and stuff, but, yeah, I don't know. That was all my notes, and I don't really have too much more to say about it. I don't feel that there's much to talk about here as there has been in other books. But next week I have a short story for you, or next week, whenever this comes up, I don't know, but, I got a short story, and then the final book in the Force Heretic trilogy, and then we'll move on to Final Prophecy, and then the Unifying Force. And then we will finish the entire Yuuzahn Vong arc. So I hope you guys will join me on that journey. Like I said, this book is fun. It's good. But it would definitely be on the lower tier of these books. Nothing has beat Traitor. Nothing has beat Star by Star. Nothing has beat Vector Prime. Those books have been... Nothing has beat Michael Stackpole's duology. That was really good. And the Edge of Victory duology. Those two... All those... super good. Agent of Chaos was fun, but it was not one of the best, though I'd probably put that higher than this trilogy so far, at the very least. Enemy Lines, this might be even with that, I'm not exactly sure. And then I haven't finished, the last other books, but yeah, I mean, I don't know, it's just, I feel like it drags on, and that's another thing. They continued the no chapters in this book. They have 4, acts, and I hate it. I hate it so much. It has nothing to do with story or writing, but I hate the fact that there are no chapters. I really, 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 really dislike that. I don't appreciate it. And that's one negative I definitely have to give to it, because then it just feels like it's going on forever and ever and ever and ever. At least with chapters, I can feel like I'm progressing. Like, oh man, there's 40 chapters. I'm 30 chapters in. I got 10 more chapters to go. Oh boy. But instead, it just goes on and on and on. And I don't know when it's going to end. I mean, I can check. I'm on Kindle, but I don't do it, because I shouldn't feel that way. And the only reason I think it's like that is because there are no chapters. So that's just one thing I just cannot stand. But overall, still a fun read. Still much better than Allegiance or Choices of One. And it's all part of a grand narrative. And all the EU connections were worth it. So I have to appreciate it. But if you like what you see here, you want to see more, click right here to see more. Feel free to comment below what you thought of this book or this trilogy in the comment section below. Without spoilers though for 3, because if you're watching this in case, even though I'm doing these ahead, in case for whatever reason I haven't finished 3, well, plus for other people that are watching this one, only comment stuff from book 1 to book 2 without saying anything about book 3 till I release that video. But anyway, not that I expect to get comments, because I don't get comments on here because I don't watch these videos. Actually, there are a lot of people have, which I've been really surprised by. It's been really nice. And I appreciate all the likes and stuff, even though there's only 2 likes, but 2 likes is more than 0. So anyway, I'm gonna go now. Hope you guys have a good rest of your day, night, whatever time it is for you when you're watching this. And I'll see you in the finale. Well, finale to this trilogy, not to the entire Yuuzahn Vong arc. But anyway, yeah, catch you next time.